Is the screen going to change? I guess not. Hello, and welcome to Take Flight Live with Phoenix Stage Company, an award-winning 100% volunteer community theater organization located in Oakville, Connecticut. I'm Ed Bassett, Executive Director of Phoenix Stage Company, and your host, here with Tim Phillips. Say hello, Tim.
Hello.
Also on screen with us, Michael, back there behind the glass.
There's a glass. What is it?
Yeah, there's plexi there.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently
it's very clean.
Well, yeah, I keep it clean.
Yeah.
Apparently, that glass is saving us because he had a cheeseburger for lunch, and it's it's repeating on him.
Oh.
Also in the room up there, Al Hathaway on the light board. Hello, Al.
And sound.
He's
very
doing,
important. Sound.
It is very important sound.
Because you have stuff.
I do. And speaking of sound, hey, Tim.
Oh, we're starting early today. Hey, Ed.
What do you call a baby owl swimming?
What do you call a baby owl? I don't know. What do you call baby owls swimming?
A moist owlet. Come on, Al, be on it. A moist owlet.
And that's how far we've sunk.
Look at I started out. How was your week, Tim?
It was fine. It was fine. You know, they're all kind of blending. We're at that point of the winter where everything kind of blends together. The skies are gray. We don't have snow. I'm happy about that. But, you know, I'm working from home.
Yeah.
And they all kind of blend together.
Yeah.
I look forward to Thursday nights.
Yeah, me too.
As do our people.
I look for our people.
Our people.
All two of them here in the building.
Well, no, I mean the people that are watching the show. Because they get together, right, Michael? They get together early, don't they? They have a little party. What?
Our viewers, they are chatting. They chat.
We're all chatting.
Are you on
themselves.
Are you on the 7-second delay?
Yeah, he's got a delay going on because one set of headphones was left out of the building because I was editing music, and so I had to steal Michael's headphones. He's on earbuds on his phone, so he sees the delay, or he gets the delay from live to the YouTube channel.
Which,
so
you know,
he's slightly behind us, right, Michael?
Correct.
Oh, he took an ear off.
He took one earbud out so he could hear us. Damn.
It's like it's like all the news reports when people are either doing a remote or they're doing a Zoom kind of thing on CNN or any of these workstations, and the host will ask a question, and then you see them waiting for them to get the rest of the question so they can answer.
Yeah,
it drives me crazy every time. What are we hearing? Are you messing with me?
Yeah.
No, it's my headphones.
Oh, that's your headphones.
So normally we talk about all kinds of stuff. Now we do birthdays and weird things.
Yeah. That's Michael.
It's weird. My earphones have been. So normally around this time we talk about birthdays and all that stuff. We're going to push those to the end, and we're going to bring some guests on.
Right. Because we have something special happening.
We have other stuff going on. So Saturday night, the 16th, we're bringing back to our channel for an open-ended run learning experience, written by John Long and directed by Drew Scott, a professor at Quinnipiac University and a director and lecturer and teacher and friend and all of that. Yes. So we're going to have Drew come on with us, and Killian's going to be on, and we're going to talk. Killian Meehan is also joining us. He was a cast member from the show. And we're doing that first because Drew is in rehearsal for a production of The Importance of Being Earnest.
Oh.
And so he needs to be gone from here by 7:30.
He's a busy guy.
And you and I tend to gab along a little bit. No. You know, so we're going to bring them on a bit early.
But it's great to bring this show back.
It is great to bring it. So
it was a great experience.
Right. And John Long had contacted me and asked if we'd like to bring it back to our channel open-ended for a couple of purposes. First is to bring it back onto our channel to help raise money for Phoenix Stage Company if people want to continue to donate. because the slides are on the show there. But also we invited and sent out information to other theaters and news organizations so that they can then use learning experience to raise money for their organizations as well, if they'd like to. So all of that stuff will be available to them. They can contact Phoenix Stage Company by emailing ed@phoenixstagecompany.org. It's going to be there one day. And yeah, and they'll be able to use the show to help raise money. You know, I don't have enough words for that show.
It was an amazing production.
Yeah.
John's writing was spot on.
Yeah.
And the performances that Drew got out of the cast members were incredible.
Yeah, it was quite excellent. Yeah. Quite excellent. So it's going to be coming back. It'll be on our channel on Saturday. I'm going to work with Michael, so it'll go live at 7:00 on Saturday, and it'll stay there. It's going to be open-ended until John decides that he'd like to take it down. So it'll stay available.
It'll also be on the website, the Phoenix website.
Yes, we will have the link on the website as well, phoenixstagecompany.org.
Yep.
It's not there yet, but it will be one day. And yeah, so that's so. So if you didn't get to see Learning Experience, this is your opportunity. It's a collection of monologues that showcase people and their experiences during the quarantine from the pandemic, the initial quarantine that we went through, but also at that same time, there was a lot going on with racism in America and the Black Lives Matter movement and all of that. So that's even addressed in there too.
Yeah.
Really, really well done. So well written, so well performed.
Yeah. You will be amazed that one person wrote these monologues for a completely different set of people.
It really is amazing.
From a young person like Killian to a senior like Beth,
right?
Beth Steinberg, to women, men.
And you know, we've known these performers for quite a long time.
Yes.
And some of the best performances I've ever seen them do.
And I think
you know, Beth Steinberg, a longtime actor in the area. A legend in community theater in our region, I would say. And I personally feel like this was one of her best performances ever. Yep. It's so good. It's so well done. Katie Stango was in there, Killian Meehan, Sheila Garrison, Dan Willey, Rob Rishnovsky, Tori Rishnovsky. Yep. Stellar cast, and really enjoyable. And I'm really excited to talk to Drew to find out what the process was like. And so we're going to bring Drew Scott on. Drew, are you there?
I am. Hi.
There he is. Welcome to Take Flight Live. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So you are busy. We had a little bit of a talk beforehand about all of the stuff that's going on because Quinnipiac is starting classes again soon. And you're virtual, 100% virtual, you were saying.
Yes.
And I was a little, we were talking, it was very confusing on this week they're virtual and then next week they're hybrid and then they're going to come back and then they're going home. It's all so confusing, the change. How are you finding that your students are handling that change?
Well, frankly, I think many of them are highly stressed by it. Some seem to adapt to it better, but I know others have had problems because it's not always easy, obviously, anyway, being a college student. But again, the fact that oftentimes things change so rapidly, suddenly you have to be quarantined. I was teaching a class on Zoom and got a chat from a student that said, you'll have to excuse me now because they're coming to take me into quarantine. You know, and these kinds of things, and students who get a positive test or, you know, they're waiting for a result from a test, just adds to the stress. And then I think it's just also very hard, the concentrating or trying to concentrate with this virtual world that we live in now. I think it becomes harder and harder in many cases. So I think it's a real challenge for the students on top of, again, just, you know, everything else they're dealing with. Those students who are actually on ground, on campus, very rigid schedules in terms of when they can move in, what they can do, where they can go. They're tested regularly. And it's a whole nother level, I think, of pressure for them. Although I will say most of them seem to have a pretty positive attitude most of the time.
Well, it will get better. I mean, eventually we'll get through this.
True. That'll be part of the transition too, is when we finish all this stuff and we're back to just having people in your classroom again. That's going to be a change too.
Yeah, it's odd to contemplate. Actually, I don't enjoy teaching on Zoom, really, in many cases, because I'm not in the room with the students. You know, it's hard to read the room when you're not in the room, and it's hard sometimes, if they feel like they want to ask a question, but they can't, they lose they lose audio, or I have students who suddenly, they're just gone. The Wi-Fi is gone or something like that. But then, it is the silver lining for me is the fact I don't have to commute.
There you go.
I feel like we're gonna have to remind students and audience members to wear pants.
Yeah, there are things like that. Right?
When you come back, make sure you have your pants on.
It's important.
And your shoes.
Let's get to this.
So Drew, you're I know longtime friend of John Long,
yes,
who wrote this very brilliant piece. Did he talk to you while he was writing it, or is it something that he brought to you after it was done?
Well, he sent me the monologue for Roberta, which was performed by Tori Richnavsky. I believe he wrote it for Tori, or at least with her in mind, and asked for some feedback on it. And I said I thought it was, really good, and that he actually should expand this and write a whole series of others. He may have already been planning to do that. I'm not sure, but then yes, he would send them to me as they were written. We'd talk a little bit about them, and gradually it all came together. We selected, or he decided on those 8 that are in the final version, and it was a process, really, again, of kind of responding from me as to what I saw as the strength of it. We were very concerned, obviously, with each of them in terms of a kind of through line that could be brought across quite clearly, for listeners. And I will say for me as well, it was odd to try to figure out how to do this because I had never done a Zoom production before.
Right, yeah.
It's a little bit different in that, I'm not staging as a director. But you are dealing, obviously, with maintaining the storyline within each of the monologues, clarifying character, those elements, of course, the language itself. And that was all very dynamic and exciting to actually get to work with the actors. But again, really a learning experience for me as well. And I think for John, I think he would say that too.
Sure. So your rehearsal process, I'm assuming that you rehearsed virtually, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Was John in on that as well? Did he attend any of the rehearsals with you?
He did. He was there. We would do an initial sort of read through of the script, as we might do with any show. We did that with each of the monologues, and John would be there for that. And partly there, it was a case of him hearing the words. Rather than simply seeing them on the page. So he could hear again very clearly sometimes where a transition didn't work, or where there needed to be a transition, or where something needed to be clarified in terms of the point that he was trying to make. He would also, of course, be very conscious as well of the length of them. I really felt that we needed to try to keep the entire piece to roughly about an hour. And again, to some extent, that was just instinct. But again, I think it can be very hard for people to follow along sometimes in, again, a virtual environment. So I was concerned about that. And John was as well. And so part of the initial read through had to do, again, with seeing what maybe could be condensed, where we could tighten things up. And then John would go and do a rewrite, send that to myself and to the actor. We'd come back in, and John would usually be there to hear it again. And from there on in, sometimes he would and sometimes he wouldn't. It would depend on the process. because, then it was usually my focus in terms of polishing the work of the actors. John was also very conscious at times also of really sort of tailoring it to the actor. If the words didn't quite seem right, if the actor felt there was perhaps a better way to say this, sometimes specific language or references, again, were something the actor was more familiar with than John. And that was something John was very open to, again, incorporating, so that, again, it would come quite naturally from the mouth of the actor.
And did you have input or direction for your actors in terms of their setting and what they wore? And was that all discussed with them as well?
Oh, it was, yes. And again, obviously there were limitations. We didn't have designers and we didn't have, sets being built and things like that. But yeah, it was something, again, we were quite aware of and trying to make it something that, again, would visually be interesting as well as capture what was right for the ambiance, shall we say, of the character, the milieu of the character, probably be a better way to say that. And that was something, again, that was part of the initial discussions, but also something that sometimes as the character developed a bit more for the actor would see something, think of something that would, again, give it more impact.
Sure. Well, I know that for me, when you're watching long monologues like this, especially virtually, it is easy to zone out sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I really liked the fact that the settings changed. Dan Willey was in that workshop that was so great,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And Killian's setting and Katie's setting, and they were all so different that it really connected you to that piece a little bit, I think. And I think people will connect to each monologue in their own way.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so too. I really, and I have known John for a very long time. We've worked on any number of shows together. John is one of my oldest friends and one of my oldest collaborators. And I felt this was perhaps the best thing he'd ever written, quite frankly.
I would agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
They were all impactful, and I think that everybody will pick a couple that are the most impactful.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
for me, Sheila Garrison's about philanthropy in this time, and Rob Rishnovsky's at the end there.
Right.
Those two hit me.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's
hard,
going to be.
but I think people find their own.
Yeah. Everybody's going to find one that really speaks to them.
Sure.
I think. Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of the power of the piece. I mean, there is something here that obviously I think with any theater piece, we respond on different levels. And a lot of that has to do, again, with our personal experiences and how it speaks to us. And I think one thing John has done so well here is provide such a range of points of view and experiences. And as you mentioned, I think, Ed, the different ages of characters and backgrounds and work experiences, so that there's a great deal of diversity in there. And I think that adds a kind of rich texture to the whole piece that, is individually, the monologues are impactful, put together. I think they really do create this wonderful sort of, again, as I think of it, like a tapestry.
Speaking of that, the scenes that you would use between each monologue that kind of led you into each monologue, how did that develop?
That really is John's work. We talked about it. He had ideas. He, would send me possibilities. So I gave him some feedback on it. But really, that was John's work and his. Really the entire piece in that sense is really sort of John's concept of what it should be.
Yeah, it was brilliantly done.
Yeah,
brilliantly done.
I'm curious, Drew, how much of a difference from the time these actors first read these monologues until the finished product? Was there a great progression for them?
There was, although I will say it was a pretty condensed sort of rehearsal time just because of scheduling.
Right.
But it was a very focused rehearsal, I will say, for each of these actors, which was very nice, very effective. But yeah, there was definite growth throughout, and I think it attests again to not only the commitment of these actors to taking on this project, but really, again, their skill, their talent, their experience.
Because if we know that everyone who knows, everybody that's ever done this kind of theater knows to take on a monologue of that size.
Yeah.
And maintain, one take really to maintain that whole thing. Oh, I'm all chilled just thinking about it. I get hives thinking about doing a monologue of that size.
Yeah, it's
They're
true.
big
It's true.
projects, yeah.
Well, it's a brilliant piece, Drew. Congratulations on the work, and it is about 20 after now, and we know you have a rehearsal to get to for your show. So thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And I just, just let me say, I appreciate the compliments, but, really, it's the actors and John's work, I think, that, really brings it to life. I'm glad I helped. I'm glad I was part of it. But working with these kinds of actors and that kind of writing, it really makes a director's job pretty simple.
There you go.
Okay, well, that's very gracious of you. Thank you very much for being with us, Drew.
Thank you. Take care.
And he's off to do
off to the importance of being earnest.
Yep. Bye-bye.
So long.
That's I think, Drew, you have to sign off yourself.
I'm frozen.
Oh,
click.
We can't fix that from here.
The beauty of Wi-Fi and virtual
shows.
stuff.
Okay, well, eventually you're gonna there he goes. He's gone. Eventually unfreeze. Now we can go off to rehearsal.
I removed him, and now it's asking if I want to report him.
No, we're not going to report him.
He's
Not going to report him. Amazing director. He
got out of those actors.
And he directed 12th Night for us down in Naugatuck, and did before we did the show, did a Shakespeare workshop with them. It was an all-day Saturday and a Sunday thing, and it was great. It was great. I have photos of that, and when we move into the future, yes, we will.
Yes.
We will, and we do have another guest with us tonight. 2 for 1 tonight.
What?
Yes. We have a cast member from Learning Experience,
Yes.
and one of our very good friends here at Phoenix Stage Company,
Yep.
Killian Meehan. Killian, are you there?
Hello,
See how
hello.
that happens? I just say those magic words and they sign right on.
Mega Millions winning ticket. Are you there? Nothing.
No, not yet.
No.
How are you, Killian?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing tonight?
Very
We're
well.
good.
thank
We're
you.
good. I hope you got to hear some of Drew's comments there.
I did.
It was quite the project. So tell us.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Killian, you came in a little bit later, right? Did you come into the project a little later?
I did. I believe, and I wish I was on with Drew to ask him this, because I'm not entirely sure, but I know that they were looking for a couple other characters in that.
Yeah.
And I believe they talked with Tori Richnovsky, and I was recommended to John, and then John reached out to me, and then I received the role of Tony.
Yeah. And I have to say, Killian, outstanding job on that monologue.
Absolutely.
It was such a departure from you. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen you here as King Richard in Sherwood, and the evil Dreyfus in Pink Panther. But this was like a salt of the earth character. That was it was so well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I mean, it was brilliantly performed.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So tell us, was there a challenge with this character at all?
The character was very interesting spot to find, because the character, instead of it being this incredible personification of a person, it was a real person.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like I'm King Richard or I'm Dreyfus the madman. I'm Tony, this real kid experiencing a whole bunch of real things.
Right.
Like, some of the stuff that Tony was discussing is stuff that I had personally experienced, or some of my friends had personally experienced with their families. So being able to bring that to the character, instead of looking at like reference material from past like things, it was a lot more of looking at self experiences. And that was something that was very difficult, just to find that spot. And then once I found that spot, Drew really helped me like latch onto that and carry that with me throughout the piece. The other really hard thing was receiving the difference between receiving instruction over a Zoom call.
Right.
Because normally after a run or after your monologue, you sit down with the director, you talk with the director. The director can like point, like one of the big things is like sitting there with the director and the director pointing at your script and being like, maybe you try this here. And not having that was such a different feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really impressive to watch your performance in the collection of monologues, because the character Tony, the vocabulary he used, the cadence of his speech pattern was so absolutely not Killian.
Right.
Like, you have a very recognizable
He
voice.
said that in a nice way.
You have a very recognizable voice, tone wise, and the cadence of your speech. You're very well spoken, obviously very smart, very educated young man. And Tony was just he was just a salt of the earth. I'm not saying Tony was a dumb guy. He just obviously was
Told things like it was
different, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was so impressive to me that everything about you changed. Everything about you changed when you became Tony. The speech pattern, the tone, everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Brilliantly done. Like, yeah.
And it was
impressive.
it was a collaboration between you and Drew in that case, right? Where you,
Yes.
the nice thing about something like this is you get to experiment, right? You get to try things. Not always, they don't always work, but you learn about it. About how many rehearsals did you guys have? Now let me ask this first ahead of time. Was it a one-on-one rehearsal, or was it like everybody get together?
There, to my knowledge, there were no group rehearsals. Drew and sometimes John were meeting with the actors individually.
Okay.
So I met with Drew and John once, and that was when we first went over the script. And then Drew and I met up a couple week and a half after that to go over the piece again and filter through a couple changes, because a couple lines needed a little bit of work just to fit the character that we had found out Tony to be a bit better. And then after that, it was, hey, Killian, send me a couple updates with where you're at. I sent Drew a couple videos of it. He said, hey, try fixing this stuff up. Fixed it up, sent him a video, and then it was all compiled together. So the first time that I saw everybody else's piece was with everybody else on the premiere of it.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. Now, your mom, she's a super theater mom, and
the best.
And she's an amazing photographer. So she comes and does our photography for us here at Phoenix Stage Company. Did she help you learn the monologue, or is that something you do on your own?
Usually the way that the monologue process goes in the Meehan household is I pick up the monologue. I read it for 3 days. I go, I know the monologue. Would you help me with it, Mom? She goes, fantastic. Yes. I give her the monologue. I read a few lines and go, oh, God.
Everything.
Oh, come on. And I forget everything.
Yeah.
And then we go through after that 3-day period of going through, getting line by line, figuring out the like just going through it, making sure I have the chunks and the thought and the full lines.
Right.
It's so helpful having somebody who is well-versed in theater, well-versed in the English language, well-versed in making characters.
Right.
To help you with that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's my mom too, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
And making decisions about which ways to go with things and stuff like that. Killian, have you ever tackled a monologue of this length before?
No. This was the longest and most like in character monologue I've ever had to do. The only other one that the one before this would have been Queen Mab as Mercutio in a Romeo and Juliet production.
Yeah.
That's a very disconnected piece already.
Right.
So this was one of the hardest monologues I've ever had to do.
Well, I hope that you've kept it, and because I think if ever you need an audition monologue, it's a wonderful piece for you. It shows your diversity and your skill as an actor beautifully. So keep that monologue tucked away for you.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that John was at one of the rehearsals with you. Were there writing changes as a result of that first rehearsal? You mentioned that you were finding the way you say things.
So after the first one of the big things for Tony specifically that John, Drew, and I had a conversation about was the language. Because John does not have a very good read on how kids my age talk and how
Right.
kids younger than I talk. So we had a conversation just like refining some of the lingo, because I was like, hey, this is something that I would never say. And we changed around some of the words. And then after that, there was just one minor slight line change after that, but it was like 3 words and then 1 slight line change. But other than that, it was as written, which I think is so impressive as a writer.
As
It's like
a writer, that's
it comes
impressive.
like off the press and it's near perfect.
Yeah.
That's
right.
that we talked about that, how impressive it was that John wrote these monologues for all of these different characters from
So
these different
disparity.
backgrounds,
Yeah, right.
and yet they fit so beautifully.
So well. Yeah.
So beautifully. So beyond learning experience, tell us what you're doing. You're in school. You just finished an intercession course. I learned what that was tonight.
You'll learn something new every day.
Intercession.
Intercession.
An intercession course. Explain what an intercession course is to our listeners.
So for an intercession course, you have your fall semester, and then you have your spring semester, and you have that like span of time in between the fall and spring semester, the intercession, and that is where your intercession classes can go.
Right.
See, and I always thought that time between fall and spring was winter.
Yeah. Huh.
So I guess
But
I'm
you
just
see, he's an educated man now, so he's using much bigger words.
yes,
right?
intercession.
We all say winter.
Oh, this is just my intercession.
that's
Why
the
say
voice.
something with 2 syllables when you could go 4?
That's
6?
right. That's true. So
Why
you-
stop?
and you also we talked earlier, and when you go back, it's going to be a combination again of virtual and in person, and then some all virtual, because you're studying cybersecurity, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
Oh,
you're going to
that's
save all of our future elections
And
That is the goal.
theater productions. You
and
gotta be
theater
able-
and
yeah.
theater
Mhm.
Yeah, you
productions.
got to save it from people.
I don't want
stealing
anybody.
it.
Yeah, I don't want anybody. Yeah, hacking into my theater.
Right.
Yeah, which with just virtual world, believe me,
That's
it's a
true.
concern.
That's
It's a
true.
concern that stuff shows up on pages and shows up in things and does all of that stuff. So bravo to you for taking that. And I have to say, I was surprised because, you know, you've done a couple of shows with us and you were getting ready to head off to college, and we all just assumed you were going to be the theater guy. You were going to go and get a
Yeah.
degree in theater, and you were going to go on to some amazing stuff, which I have no doubt that you still will.
Yeah.
But bravo that you took a course to fall back on, you know, that you're, because
And of course, once we're back up and running, anything to bring Killian back into the Phoenix State Company.
yeah,
Oh, I'd love to be back.
absolutely.
I'd love to be back in a
Absolutely.
theater. Oh, I miss
Absolutely.
theater so much.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everybody does. Yeah.
Everybody, that's
Yeah,
why we're
true.
here on Thursday nights, just
That's right.
gabbing.
That's
So
right.
Killian, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Of
Congratulations again on an amazing piece.
Yeah.
Thank you
Spread
so
the word
much.
to everyone that they can check you out starting on Saturday night on the YouTube channel.
I will do that. Thank you so much
Thanks so
for
much,
having me.
Killian.
Thank you, Killian.
Killian Meehan,
Meehan.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's
Most like highly spoken about guest we've ever had in chat before. People love him.
Yeah, see, people love you, Killian.
Yes,
Who
that's
doesn't? I mean, honestly, who
we
doesn't?
just bring him on to get our
Speaking
ratings.
of love, hey Tim,
Hey, what?
how do you know that owls are more clever than chickens?
I don't know. How do you know that owls are more clever than chicken?
Have you ever heard of a Kentucky Fried Owl? Al? Thank you, Al. Al, you need to be ready on the button.
He didn't know that was a joke to say.
Oh,
He was expecting it to be funny.
it was funny. So Tim,
Yeah.
now, so learning experience, Saturday the 16th, available on our channel. It'll be open-ended. Please share it with your friends and
Watch
family
it
if they've
again if
not
you've
seen it.
before.
Watch it again.
You'll
It
enjoy
is a
I
brilliant,
can't wait to see it myself.
brilliant piece of
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah, it's very,
Brilliant
very
piece. So your week, Tim, you've been working.
I've been working. I'm trying to get outside. I am appreciating the fact that we're not having a New England winter right now.
You know,
Because I've been out. I like to go out walking this
Yeah.
time of year, and like just today, I did a nice little hike. it's nice to be able to get out and find different places to go. Lori went down to the Naugatuck Dog Park the other day just to get out for a walk.
You don't have a dog.
I know, but she liked to go watch other people's dogs, I guess. I don't know.
Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, I've had a weird week.
I was going to ask how your week
My
goes.
week's just been weird because I don't know. This week I have what I'm calling COVID brain.
COVID brain?
I am. Yeah, I'm having trouble sleeping again this week. It's I'm having really strange dreams.
Yeah.
My sleep patterns are really off.
Is that a
I have
normal
trouble.
product of
I fall asleep, but then I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I find I'm awake for hours, and it's not normal for me. And I had 2 virtual meetings today and I missed them both. They were on my calendar and I don't know.
You're a little foggy.
I'm foggy. I've got COVID brain this week. I'm not, it's really weird. It's really weird.
Is it because, I mean, we're so used to having physical things to do?
I think probably. I think that's it. I think I don't know. I've had days like this before during this shutdown and quarantine,
Right.
and
Yeah.
the political stuff that's been happening has been crazy,
It is.
right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
there's just it's a lot. There's a lot
Are
going
you watching
on.
a lot of news?
I try not to.
Because sometimes that can be a problem.
I
too.
told you I found a new passion on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
Chinese cooking videos, and they're not in English; they're in
No,
Chinese.
Cooking videos from China.
From China, right?
Yeah.
And so, I watched this one last night that was this rice with eggs on it, and it was so good.
Oh yeah. You like these recipes?
Yes, I want to try them really, really badly.
Oh.
And they do. It's little subtitles on what it is. So they talk for 5 minutes and it says salt. And then they talk for another couple of minutes and it says pepper. So I'm sure they're saying don't put too much or don't put, and they don't put amounts. So you just kind of watch,
Right.
or it'll say a spoon of soy sauce, tablespoon, teaspoon. I like soy sauce, so I'll put a tablespoon in. But so I find that I really enjoy that, but I try not to watch a lot of news. I put movies on or music on, or
It just reminded me of, I had a gig many years ago. I think it was before Phoenix. Yeah, it's over 10 years ago. There was a Japanese TV crew coming in the area to film a show. And they were looking for local actors. And this particular show was a reenactment of a murder
it's the
case.
crime reenaction
Yes,
shows that they do.
one of those.
Yeah.
And I had, it was a Japanese crew, a Japanese director, and a Japanese translator. And I was doing this one scene, and we did the scene. And I was the head of the family. I was speaking with the rest of the family. And we did the scene. I read the lines. And then the director cuts it. And then he talks to me for 5 minutes in Japanese.
Yeah.
And he finishes. I look to the translator and he says, he wants you to sit forward when you talk. That was it. He talked for 5 minutes. Yeah, lean forward when you talk. Just like your Chinese thing.
He was probably saying something like, your bald head shines too much when you sit back. I need you to sit forward when
I'm
you talk,
sure you're
because
saying,
then,
can we get somebody else?
Yeah. And then they just kind of paraphrased it.
Yeah.
They paraphrased
Well,
it.
we can't
I
tell
was,
them that.
I was when I was stationed in Japan
Yeah.
in the Navy, I did a lot of side work. I did a couple of commercials, a 7-Eleven commercial and a Toyota commercial and stuff like that. And I played a bailiff in a courtroom
Okay.
on a Japanese soap opera. And this trial was supposed to be in the United States.
Oh, really?
It was really interesting to see what their take on an American courtroom was.
Perry
And
Perry
so
Mason.
I just, all I had to do was stand there. I was a bailiff. I just stood there.
Was it in,
I got paid great.
was it in Japanese?
It
or
was in Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's crazy.
I just stood and watched, but it was interesting to see what their, I guess they didn't have a consultant or anything,
Right.
what they thought happened in
This is-
courtrooms. It was,
They probably got it from watching.
it was
TV.
really, really interesting.
Perry Mason episodes.
Yeah.
Now, aren't you also on Tokyo Disney?
Well, I did some voiceover stuff for them. Who knows if I'm still
there.
yeah, I did like,
Get off the...
no, my tram stuff was for the United States.
Oh, okay.
No, I did like, Shaimasen, Tokyo Disney, which is welcome to Tokyo Disney. And, little weird park announcements, like if you get separated, meet here or do this or do that. And and I did some, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Disney.
Oh,
and
the DJ voice on.
Disney welcomes AT&T, that kind of weird stuff, but not just like I did voiceover. So it wasn't only like I did for amusement parks out in the Midwest. There were a couple called Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun, and I did voiceover stuff for them too. So it was just like a thing I did. It wasn't, you don't get a whole ton of money for it.
No.
And who knows if that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years.
He started when he was 5.
Yeah, whatever. No. Yeah. So no. So Tim, we have some birthdays this week. Cue up the birthday music. Okay. It's the Broadway birthday. Whose birthday?
Well, yesterday we had 2 birthdays. Not just one, but
2
birthdays of people that have been here on this stage, sometimes, many times. Donna
Storms, happy birthday!
She was very happy not to have to share her cake.
True. Yes.
And also not to wear pants. And Chuck Stango also celebrates his birthday the same day as Donna.
Chuck Stango, happy birthday!
Man of no importance, foreigner.
Yep.
And then coming up Saturday, our dear friend Nancy Dodge.
Nancy Dodge, happy birthday to Nancy on the 16th.
Yep, and on the 17th, our good friend Dana Willie.
Dana Willie, it's your birthday.
So if you see these people or on Facebook, wish them a happy birthday, especially Dana, because he's a quiet guy. He doesn't get.
Yeah. So just wish him happy birthday from now until the 17th.
In fact,
every day.
Every day. Yes, every day. Just really be annoying about it because that's what we like.
That's what we like. Just ask Michael. He'll tell you.
Michael knows how to annoy us really well, or we know how to annoy him.
We do. What we have to do is we have to get him to smile back there because he never smiles. Apparently, he doesn't laugh at things.
Effort to smile more today, just for Amber.
Hey, Michael.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, ask him.
Get ready on your track there, Al. Hey, Michael.
What, Ed?
What do you get when you cross cats and owls?
What do you get?
Meowls.
No, don't play that. No. Don't we have like one that's a boo?
Meowls.
Did you Google owl jokes today?
I'm trying to come up with a theme every time.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. What do you get, or what do you call it when owls get together?
I don't know.
A hootenanny. Ow!
That was funny.
Al has left the building.
You know what? I gotta get a new sound guy. Anybody who wants to volunteer to be a sound guy,
You have to know
to play my laugh track all the time.
no matter how bad the jokes
A little late, Al.
no matter how bad the jokes are. This is all he does. 5-6 days in a row, he looks for something.
No, I don't. So we've been talking a lot about, we're coming up on a year. March is going to be a year that the theater's been closed.
Yes.
And not only our theater, but so many. And we've been doing these virtual programs, and we're trying to invent more virtual programming to continue on and keep doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's really tough, but we were talking in the office and came up with a list of what theaters are doing stuff coming up.
Yeah,
so
we started going through all the websites of different community theaters in this half of Connecticut, basically.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting mix.
It is an interesting mix.
The most common thing we found is, I don't know.
So websites can be rather vague.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's tough because when you don't have a lot of content going on, and we're all volunteer, and so it's hard to keep things updated all the time. We do our best. Yeah. Poor Sharon, I'll send out an email about something, and then she'll text me and go, "Do I have that information yet?" And I'll say, "No, not yet. I promise I'll get it to you." So it's, most of the time it's my fault because I'm just not fast enough getting things out. But you know, the Warner right now is hosting their 9th annual International Playwrights Festival, and you watched one. They're available online.
Yeah.
They're free.
Yeah. I watched yesterday. Put on a Grumpy Face. I don't know who wrote it, but our dear friend Colleen Renzullo.
Yeah, and her cat Carol.
Carol makes a cameo.
Yeah, if you go to her channel, Cooking with Colleen on YouTube, you can meet Carl. He makes an appearance,
and it's a really well done. And I asked Colleen about it, and I can compliment her. I thought it was a really nice production. She said they like 10 takes before they could finish it. They did 2 with masks on.
Yeah.
And then once they got comfortable with it, they did it, but they had to do like take after take after take. And that's so hard.
Sure.
That's the nice thing about live theater. You get 1 take.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But they got it through. And it's a very cute little play. So
and Goshen Players has something coming up.
Yeah,
right?
Goshen Players is doing a virtual reading on February 21st. So coming up in a month. A new play by Mark Dunn, The Puzzle with the Piazza.
Yeah. So, and I'm assuming that's going to be virtual. You can go to their website, goshenplayers.org.
Yep.
Little Theater of Manchester looks like they're opening in June.
That's
to like a physical. So they're opening in June.
With a play called Walter Cronkite is Dead.
Yeah.
Landmark
Community Theater up at the
Thomaston
Thomaston Opera House.
Yep. They're talking about doing Kinky Boots in May.
So they're going to open in May.
Yep.
You know, the hard thing about this is not knowing the state of vaccinations yet and not knowing how things are going to go. How long are we going to rehearse?
Sure.
And that process, and that's a musical, and that's a big show. There's a lot of dancing,
that's
and there's a lot of stuff. So I wish them really good luck, and I'm sending lots of white light in that direction. Hopefully that'll work. Goodspeed Opera House down south.
They're doing a reduced season, only 2 shows, and the first one is going up in June. Is going to be South Pacific.
So they're doing.
So they're really hoping that by then enough people are vaccinated they can come into. That's a really tight space.
Sure, it is.
In Goodspeed. So you know they're hoping that they can get the audiences back.
And Brookfield Theater Arts is going to be virtual through April. That's all the information we could find. So we don't know what's going on beyond April and where they're going to be. The same thing with that's a community theater at Woodbury,
where we were last year.
Yeah.
Letters of Note. Is that a virtual?
It looks like it's a virtual.
Okay.
So they have a performance. It's already opened, I believe. So they have a performance on January 19th, and then another February 2nd and February 16th. So you can go to ctaw.org and you can find information about that community theater at Woodbury.
And the Palace Theater in Waterbury has on their website that they are bringing in Jersey Boys, the musical, in April.
Yeah.
And that obviously it's a tour.
It is a tour. And again, that's going to be, I think all of this stuff is like tentatively planned.
Right.
And that's
they must be
hard.
getting ready to go on their own. All these groups and all these tours, they're getting, just give us the okay to go. And boom, they'll put it together probably within a week.
Well, tours aren't like that though.
Yeah.
Tours like going into the palace and whatnot. Yeah. Those are made by companies outside of their own control. Right. They're simply the host.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
These that tours, one's tough.
These tours are getting everybody ready. I would think at this point, as much as they can do virtually at this point.
Because Actors Equity is still up in arms about that.
And then there's something about Broadway. They're talking about early fall.
Well, Broadway is talking about early fall. So August, late August, early September kind of thing is what they're talking about for Broadway.
Oof.
And so, we've been challenged. We've been talking about maybe we'll open in June, maybe we'll open in July. Right. If we open in June, then we can do this show. If we open in July, then we can't do this show. We have to do this show. It's really hard for us to plan.
Yes.
We're putting, as I say this every show, we're putting out more money than we're bringing in. And we have plans and we have things we want to accomplish. We have to let our subscribers know what's happening. We have to let our actors know what's happening.
Right.
But so much of it is based on supposition. We don't know what's going to happen yet. So we have a plan.
What?
We did, because, we have goals we have to set. We have some painting that needs to be done. We have some cleaning that we need to do.
Yep.
And we were like, well, if we open in June, we have to have it done by this. The problem with opening in June for us is we have to rehearse for 6 weeks at least.
Yeah.
People are going to be way out of practice for this. that means we're bringing people back in April. And unless they're all vaccinated
That's
and
a
comfortable with coming back, and we're
tight.
just not sure.
A little tight.
So we have decided that Phoenix Stage Company will open again with a live production on Friday, August 13th.
Mark your calendars.
Friday the 13th, Friday 13th, we are opening with
You
a
did that on
live
purpose too,
production.
right?
I did do that on purpose. I
Yeah.
did. And so I have a little snippet, a little teaser for you.
Oh,
Al, can you play that teaser for us?
I want to believe you, baby. But a dame like you can open a man's heart like the tin lid on a can of peaches. Then you reach inside and rip the heart out like you would the peaches inside the can, stick it in a pan filled with pie crust, and ask everybody to dig in. Well, you can take your home-style cooking somewhere else, sister. Because I've had just about all the broken heart pie I can take.
Yeah. So
it's Romeo and Juliet
we're bringing back a show that we produced in 2013
in Naugatuck.
Naugatuck, and it's called Kill Me Deadly. It is a 1940s film noir comedy starring Rob Roshnowski, a plethora of people in this show. We've lined up a cast. Now, I just want to say this out loud so that people know this. There are some people that were in the production in 2013 that we're not bringing back into this production. It has nothing to do with us liking you or not. It has nothing to do with that. These decisions were based on people that have already been active during this time for us, that are in or have been really serious about their quarantines. We know them. We know what their habits have been. And so we're bringing a cast together that has either worked together on movie projects that we've already done. We're kind of familiar with everyone's habits.
Yeah.
By August, hopefully, everyone will have been vaccinated and it'll be safer.
Well, hopefully by
we won't
July.
need to start our rehearsals until June.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to see where we are, and if we need to push, then we can. So on Friday, August 13th, we open with Kill Me Deadly. It runs for 6 performances. It will be live on the stage, and we will have a streaming production available as well through Broadway On Demand. So watch for more information on that. We'll be able to send all this information out to all of our subscribers and our supporters. In October 2nd, we will be opening our production of the Cayuga Canal Girls. This is an original play by Laura King, part of Act Fest.
Remember the Act Fest?
Act Fest 2020. So so we've pushed that into October. And then in November, we will be bringing back our all-time holiday favorite, Every Christmas Story Ever Told and Then Some, the really final tour. The final tour. Yes. What is that? Al, why are you playing music? We're not done yet. Thank you. See,
He's
Al's
trying to
just
kick
button
us
happy now.
He's trying to kick us out.
Oh, the final tour. He thinks that's funny. Nah. Yeah. So, we have a note from our producer.
Oh, this is from Chanel.
Uh,
What did the owl say when he heard Ed's jokes? Who thought that was funny? Who?
If you push that laugh track, Al.
And thank you for the gift basket, Chanel. We really
Yeah, Chanel, we're enjoying your wine.
We are now.
Chanel, have you enjoyed your time on stage here at Phoenix Stage Company? I hope you have.
You're going to have to bring donuts to every rehearsal.
Because who's going to cast you again after that?
Oh, that's just mean. That's just mean.
He will.
I will.
No, we love you, Chanel. We do. We do. And I thought all of my jokes were funny.
One thing I just saw, one of my memories just came up on, or somebody else, Tony Benedetti's memories came up on Facebook.
Yeah.
5 years ago, right now, we wouldn't be able to sit here because there was a giant cafe. We were doing Cops
5 years ago.
5 years ago at this very time.
Yeah, we were doing Cops.
The cafe
Another amazing show.
It is.
You know,
Yeah.
there are so many shows that I'd love to bring back. The problem is that some certain actors
Yeah.
wouldn't be home for the whole year. They'd never be home. They'd have to move in here because they'd be because you know, a lot of our shows, a lot of our best shows have starred some of the same people in them, which speaks very highly of those performers.
But what's really nice about bringing Killing Me Deadly back is it's going to be a totally different show this time.
Well, it's called Kill Me Deadly.
Kill Me, yeah, whatever. And well, that's what's going to make it different. We're going to be doing.
See, Tim only saw
Michael to laugh.
Tim only saw one performance of it last time because he was going to hockey games at that point. And now we've sucked him into Phoenix so much that he's going to be in the production this year, so he's going to be here every time.
But it's going to be different now because you're going to have this space instead of Naugatuck space.
So you have
to redo the show.
No, because we'll be able to do zones a little bit easier here.
Right.
It was really well done in Naugatuck, I have to say. And it's exciting. I'll be excited to do it on this space in this space. Of course, I think we're still going to be keeping our audiences relatively light. We're going to space people out just to make sure everybody's comfortable. So it'll be lower audiences here, but that streaming option I think is going to be really very, very good for people.
That'll be something new. Are we planning to do that for the whole season?
Well, this is an experiment to see how we do. So a challenge with doing virtual productions, streaming productions, is that producers like to work with different services. So it could start to be confusing for our ticket buyers. For this show, you'll buy from this place, and for that show, you'll buy from this place, and from that show. So two of the shows, Every Cursive Story Ever Told, and the Kill Me Deadly, those will both be available through the same online service. Cayuga Canal Girls, I'm not sure that we will be able to provide that one virtually because of the fact that it's a new play that is under a different sort of contract. So that one, you'll have to come to the theater to see that one. And
when will tickets go on sale for these shows?
We are not going to start ticket sales for these shows until probably a week or a week and a half before we open in August, because we want to make sure that we're opening in August.
Right.
If something happens and we have to close down again, or if we're delayed, I don't want to have to go back and try to work things up. It's taken us a really long time to catch up with all that stuff now. So we won't start our ticket sales back up again until about a week and a half before we open. And we'll just make sure that everybody is solid. I have to make sure the subscribers get in when they want to come in and all of that stuff. So but August is going to be our opening time right now. We feel like that's safe, but before then, we are going to be doing some more virtual stuff. We have a virtual tasting plan for February. We have some other stuff going on.
We should talk about the next virtual project, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
It is coming up in a couple of weeks. Our first.
You want to talk about that? Am I springing that on you?
No. You can talk about it.
Well, we're going to do another production.
Yeah.
And this is Sherlock Holmes and the Case of the Missing Doodad.
That's right, Tim.
I remember the name of that.
He remembered it. He looked at me like suddenly, you looked at me suddenly like you were having a COVID moment. Like, wait, what? Wait, what is it?
I didn't know are we talking about this?
Yes, we talked about it last week a little bit.
We did.
It's a serial that we're doing. We're going to be filming it this coming week. So next week we don't have a podcast.
So watch this one again next week.
Yeah, watch this one again.
Pick your favorite show.
You have a week off from my jokes. Yeah.
And watch Learning Experience or something like that. So we're taking next week off so we can properly prepare this.
This is a big undertaking for us because we're doing the entire Sherlock Holmes episode in front of a green screen. And we're gonna edit it so that we can put us in some weird locations and things. So we're really excited about it. Our first guest on the show will be Jonathan and Casey Ross. So Jonathan in a dress. What's more to know?
He's gonna be in a dress.
Sure he is. We have to at least once. We got to make him dress.
Wasn't Casey? She was Lestrade.
She was Lestrade. She was in a suit with a mustache when we did Baskerville.
Right.
Yes, she was.
It's gonna be great.
It's great. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And we're also working on another project for Valentine's.
For Valentine's Day.
Yes, I'll bring a date to it, or watch on your screens,
or you can find me a date for it.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever.
New contest,
right? Oh, a new contest. No, I'd be really afraid of that. No. No,
Whoa.
Chanel, don't find me a date.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'll go to the donut shop. To find
There
me
you
somebody.
go. Last week we tried something where we sent each other a YouTube video,
Yeah.
and as wacky, as insane as we could find, and we had to write a review on it.
Right.
We're not doing that this week. We're not.
No.
What are we going to do with it?
So we're revamping it. So
Yeah.
instead of Tim and I sending each other videos and we review them,
Yeah.
we've already gotten, people have sent us links. So we're going to have Michael review them or look at them to make sure that they're appropriate.
Yes, because my wife already sent one that we can't use.
I love the one that Lori sent. It's about a honey badger.
Honey
It's
badger.
awesome.
Honey badger don't care.
Yeah. So if it's appropriate, then what will happen for our reviews is we will play them live. You will watch them with us, and then we will each review the same one after watching it. So it'll be a live review.
We won't see
with
it
comments.
until then, right?
We won't see it until then. We'll be
Okay.
watching it for the first time with you, and you'll hear our reviews,
Oh, that should be good.
which could be interesting.
Yes. Last week we also gave away our first Marf.
Marf.
Our first Marf.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our very
And
first
now, do you
Marf.
want to model this Marf?
So if for those of you
It's
who
a
missed
combination
this,
mask.
it's a combination
Scarf.
mask scarf. So you put it on, wrap it right around, and you have a lovely mask with a nose piece, and it's a scarf.
Great for going out and hiking around
Or walking in the dog park
walking in the dog park. Yeah.
without a dog.
Now, so we have a trivia contest, a trivia question, and the first person that writes the correct answer in the comment section will win a Marf.
Does Michael know the answer to it? Did
He
you
does.
tell him?
Remember-
Okay, so
he
Michael
remembers-
knows.
He remembers. I told him. I gave him the question. I didn't give him the
This
answer.
is really quite warm.
You like that?
Yeah, this is really quite nice.
It's a
Actually.
very nice one. You got more of that material, so you can make.
I've made several of these.
You may have.
yes.
All right. All right. So we were just talking about kill me deadly,
Yes.
not killing me softly.
Killing me
with-
softly.
No, Kill Me Deadly, which is a film noir, basically a live film noir.
Yes, it is.
Okay. In 1982, there was a satire film called Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, using clips from other noir films. Now, what we want to know is who is the famous comedian who wrote and starred in that 1982 movie?
I can hear people screaming at their screens right now.
Yes, but
Well,
can
they
they
wanted
type
to hear your question yet for like,
7 seconds?
he just started the question.
Well, if they run it ahead of time, you know that's right.
So it's really weird that the delay. The delay
yeah, we
is
have a
the
7
delay.
second delay. That's in case we swear, I guess.
Yeah, so he can
He can
pause it or whatever.
Does he even have a beep? I don't
No.
think he does.
Casey said Steve Martin.
Casey Ross.
Congratulations, you are the winner.
Congratulations,
I
Casey
should have
Ross.
known Casey would know that.
So Casey, you just won a Marf.
Your own Marf.
Yes. So we'll be able to
Get
we'll,
ready for it.
we'll be able to get it to you while you
Oh,
come
when
in
you
for
come
your
in
filming
for your
of
Sherlock, yeah.
Sherlock.
It was one of the lesser known Steve Martin films, and he used clips from all these different noir movies.
Now, are you a big Steve Martin fan?
I am,
Yeah.
more or less. I
Yeah.
haven't seen everything, but I've seen a lot of his stuff.
I mean,
And he's come a long way, and he's
well,
brilliant.
listen,
So listen,
I
read his
can
books.
I can take so much Steve Martin
Well, of the old Steve Martin.
Yeah, of
right?
the old Steve
Yeah,
Martin.
yeah.
because it sometimes it just felt like he was trying really, really hard to be funny.
Yeah, well, in the
And-
early days, I think he probably was. But you take a movie like All of Me with Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, no, that's
That's a brilliant
yeah,
film.
that's great.
That's a brilliant
Yeah, I
film.
feel like who's the guy that was an elf that Lori likes so much?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
No, what? Yeah, I feel like he watched Steve Martin growing up, and now he just wants to be like that.
Wild and Crazy Guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just feel. Yeah, I don't know. I can take. I can take.
It's good. It's fun to listen to Steve Martin talk. Actually, that master class thing
Yes,
online.
online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a master class on comedy.
Yeah, Michael doesn't like masterclass apparently because he just shook his head no when you mentioned that.
We just got to talking about Will Ferrell in my ear, and I didn't hear it because I was addressing something else.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he teaches. He's a very, you know, I read his books, and he very he does a lot of thinking about comedy and his experimental stuff, which led to the Wild and Crazy Guy. I mean, when you look at it, no other comedians are coming out with white suits and throwing things on there.
Well, no, I mean, listen, those days of Saturday Night Live, those early days, the 70s and the early 80s, that was brilliant comedy. Yes. I mean, that was
good sketch writing.
Amazing sketch. Some of it was really weird.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger, chip was a little like, what? I don't understand.
I think it's the part I think of King Tut.
Yeah, King Tut.
Right.
Yeah, the King Tut thing. Yeah, absolutely. And the weird bee sketch from Saturday Night Live was a little like, what, the bees, you know, Killer Bees.
But you got to remember too that comedians at that point were doing stand-up shows in theaters like this, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Small little venues.
Right.
If you watch The Marvelous Miss Maisel, you see there's always these comedy clubs in Greenwich Village that are really tiny.
Yeah.
He was doing like XL Center comedy shows. Massive. Nobody had ever done that before.
Yeah.
And now there's a couple of comedians that can pull that off, but not too many.
No.
But he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And he written some really good funny
I
stuff.
mean, nobody has it over my jokes.
That's true. Cricket. Have we done everything we're supposed to do?
You know what? I think that we've done everything that we were supposed to do.
Yes.
So listen, we're excited about our future. We're excited about moving into the future with our projects for a virtual program that we're going to be doing, as well as moving towards our opening on August 13th, Friday, August 13th here at Phoenix Stage Company.
Yep.
Fingers crossed that we can do that we can move in. So the cast of Kill Me Deadly, Robert Schnasky will be coming back and reprising his role of Charlie Nichols. Laura Sturgis-Cortez will be playing Mona Livingston. The young lady who played Mona when we first produced it lives out in Los Angeles now.
That makes it kind of tough.
It does make it makes it kind of tough. And Deb Goodman is slated to play the role of the mother. Coconuts for everyone. And because that original actress also doesn't live in the area anymore. And then Krista Morisi will be coming in to play a role because that actress lives out in California now. We can't fly those people in to do this stuff.
Oh.
So we're excited to have some people join us in the show that weren't in it last time. And we're really excited to have people back that were in it before as well. So,
and he's your stage manager.
Yes, and Michael is my stage manager. My original stage manager was Lori Phillips, Tim's wife, but she says we're all crazy. She's right. She stage managed a couple times, and she just said we're all crazy. She's right. Yeah. So, and I have to say she's going to be very busy as the volunteer coordinator, lead volunteer, and scheduling everything out in the theater in general.
Yeah.
So to add that to that will be crazy. Because we have Kill Me Deadly, and then we have the big opening of the Cayuga Canal Girls a couple of months later. So busy time for everybody at the theater.
Absolutely. But it's great to be starting at this point to make plans again.
We have a goal.
We have a date.
And until now, we didn't have that. It was, we don't know. We have something we're working towards. It's a date.
Yep.
And now I can start scheduling all the projects that need to be done before that can happen.
Right.
We have a lot of stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah.
We have to clean downstairs the workshop. We have to go through the small prop room. We're kind of doing some work in the lobby. We're painting and whatnot.
Yeah.
So all of those projects have to be done. The new box office has to be built. All of that stuff has to happen.
Plus, we've done some stuff already. We took some time and did some remodeling.
We've done some stuff, but we still have some work to do. And my sister lives right up the street. She's retired, so I'll be dragging her down here with me. Yeah, and so she'll be coming down to hang out with us and doing some stuff, I'm sure.
It's good to have stuff to look forward to.
It's been
a long year.
Yeah.
It has been it's been 10 months now at this point.
It's 10 months, but we're still here, we will still be here, and you're still there, and my COVID brain will hopefully fuzz away this week. It'll stop.
You just need
sex.
No, well, okay. He needs something.
No.
Yeah, perhaps we should talk about our sponsors.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I need to eat some red meat, but that's just a whole new subject all to itself. So listen, we have to thank our sponsors. You want to hit that music, Al? Our first sponsor is
Black Hawk Brewing Company, Oxford, Connecticut. We can't wait to come back to you guys.
Yeah,
what are they doing for the winter?
I'm not sure what
I
they're
just
doing.
got a Facebook message. They just came out with a new sour beer. So let's check it out.
Okay, well, you can drink that because I'm
Yeah.
not into the sour beer.
Yeah.
Sierra Ridge Media Arts, full service production house from Naugatuck, Connecticut. Deb and Jeff Cryan.
Who aren't watching because the Bruins are playing.
That's right. The Bruins are playing, so they're watching that. But
Yeah.
thank you for all that you do for us. Also, a quick shout out to Michael and Arabesque Dance Theatrical Supplies. We'll have more updates as we go forward with that.
Yep.
So thank you all very much. Don't forget that you can make a donation to Phoenix Stage Company at any time by visiting phoenix-stage-company.square.site. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Al. Until next time,
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Say good night, Tim.
Good night, Tim.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Are we done?
Okay, right. Can we leave?
Huh?